This will define everything, as Bronny James just came off his rookie season, and there are some people around the league who believe he can make a massive improvement off of his rookie stats. So it is up to JJ Redick and the Lakers to find a plan for Bronny James to improve on his game and be a contributor for next season. What's good? I'm Okechi Apakama, and this is Lakers Digest coming at you with another video. And before we get into everything we have for you for today's video, I just want to remind you guys to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already to get those Laker updates, guys, because we are pushing towards 20,000 subscribers. And if you don't want to miss any of the action in the offseason, make sure you guys are subscribed here to Lakers Digest so you don't miss a beat. Now, with that out of the way, let's hop straight into the topics we have for you today, as an insider thinks Bronny can crack the Lakers rotation. So, after having a rookie season in the G League stats, he had some pretty good stats there, but as far as the NBA is concerned, he is still not ready just yet. Bronny James is coming off of a rookie season that is, he did make some improvements here and there, and he did get better as a player and his conditioning, but there is still some room to grow for Bronny James, especially if he wants to crack the Lakers rotation. But ESPN's insider Dave McMenamin believes that Bronny can crack the rotation as soon as next season. So he was talking about it in a podcast and how Bronny James is on the right trajectory where he could possibly crack the Lakers rotation by mid-season next year, which is rapid improvement and very great for the Los Angeles Lakers because he was a second-round pick and the 55th overall pick, and you don't really find too much value from those players at that position. But Bronny James looks like he could be a person that could be a contributor for the Los Angeles Lakers, and there's a myriad of ways that a guy like Bronny James can do it. Obviously, he is not going to be his father, but there are some things that Bronny can do well that can really help this Laker team, especially some of the things that he does well, because those are the specific needs the Lakers need right now on their squad. So, just taking a look at Bronny's stats from the season doesn't really tell much of a story here for the Los Angeles Lakers because, like I said, just 2 points per game, didn't really have too much minutes out there, only shot 31% and 28% from three. Those were his NBA stats, but as far as his other stats here, those were his G League stats. This is where his G League stats, he actually averaged 21 points per game to go along with 5.3 rebounds, 5.3 assists, 1.9 steals per game. That's all in the G League, shooting 38% from three and 44% from the field, which is very solid numbers for a rookie player coming into their first season their first professional career year. So Bronny James with very good G League stats, but it is important for him to sort of make the jump. So what are some of the things that he can improve on? So that is my next topic here, is how can Bronny improve? So there is definitely room for improvement for Bronny James from confidence, a shooting standpoint, just being better conditioned. And I think those are some of the biggest things for a guy like Bronny James. So the confidence part, as you saw during the season, he started to get more and more confident with his game. That is whether it's taking better shots, being a more prolific decision maker, or just doing things with more force. So that is the type of things that Bronny kind of learned during that first year of his period, the first year of his career. And then some of the things like conditioning. So those are some of the things that Bronny needs to get better at as a player. And there were some scouts talking about Bronny James, about some of the things that he did well for the season and how he can project in the future. And so this is what one of the scouts said. So from the start of the year till now, you see there's been an improvement. One NBA advanced scout said, "I've seen it's been a pretty positive season for him." And that is talking about his rookie season, because from where he started to where he finished, it was definitely a massive improvement to compare to what he was doing at the start of the year. But like I said, it's some of the things like the conditioning and then also the confidence factor. But then also, where does his role kind of fall into as an NBA player? Because obviously being the son of LeBron James, there is very high and pretty much impossible expectations that you have to come after. But this is what part of the scout said. So Bronny can work towards this status while carrying all the pros and cons of his bloodline surname. Can he play in the NBA? Absolutely, said one of the scouts, who assured the young man's potential will be a star. Probably not, but being a role player isn't bad. And that is kind of the mold for a guy like Bronny James, to be a high level role player, because that is something that he can do, because he is one of the more athletic players on the Lakers roster. Crazy enough, even though at his young age only is 20 years old. So there's still room for improvement to him to get stronger, to get a little quicker, to get to jump a little higher. So there's still things Bronny can do from a physical standpoint to become more imposing as a player, because he is pretty stout already as a 6'2 guard, but he's like about 215 and it's mostly all muscle. So Bronny James has that physicality part got down, but it's now about imposing his will and being more of a player of force at that position, because he isn't the tallest player at listed about 6'2", but he does have a pretty good wingspan at 6'7", and he can use some of those tools defensively, which is, I think, where a position where he can really thrive, because his defense was definitely well ahead of his offense for him, and he can be a really good ball hawk, a guy that can really guard people 94 feet, can be a guy that can be an on-ball menace too as well. So those are some of the things that Bronny James already does well, and with better conditioning and more confidence, then he can do that at an NBA level and probably like a role player level, which is what the Lakers could be hoping for, because like I said, he's the type of guard that the Lakers could use, as he is more of a defensive guard, because they have their big playmakers, obviously with Luka Doncic, LeBron James, and even Austin Reaves to an extent, because he's about 6'5", 6'6". So they need another guard to sort of be that guy to guard the other team's best player. And that's kind of where Bronny James fits in a little bit here, as he can be a guy to guard the other team's best guard there. And with that 6'7" wingspan, maybe he can guard some twos as well. And also the physicality and strength that he has to his game. So this summer league coming up for Bronny is going to be a big litmus test, seeing where his game has grown, to see if he is a better decision maker on the offensive end and can be more physically imposing on the defensive end, and also better conditioned, so he's able to play more of the game and be a more effective contributor throughout the whole parts of the game. But it is very viable that I think a guy like Bronny James can become a role player as soon as next season for the Lakers, especially with the type of needs that they need, which is they need speed and athleticism, and Bronny has that for the Lakers. So it's more about for him getting that offensive game in check so he can be on the floor in those moments, because I do believe the defense is pretty much there and is going to get even better once his conditioning gets better. But that's probably going to be it for this video. Make sure you guys comment down below of what do you think about Bronny James. Do you think he is just more of like one of those throwaway players, end of the bench guys that won't see too much? Or do you think that he can make an improvement and be a person that the Lakers can count on in the rotation to get some minutes here off the bench, especially as a elite defensive guard, and then also just like a 3-and-D player on the offensive end, being in the right spots, making the right plays, and just not doing too much offensively, because you already have those massive offensive creators. Let us know in the comments down below. And just one more thing for us, guys, there is still 75% of you guys who have recently watched our videos who are not subscribed to the channel just yet. And if you guys want more of that Laker news, Laker updates, trade rumors, game recaps, just every and all things LA Lakers, you guys want to come right here to Lakers Digest so you don't miss any of that action. All right, I have been your host, Okechi Apakama, and I will catch you guys on the next one.